Super. Yeah.
Good.
Very excited about this new project.
Yes, Rebecca, I'll start with you. I just started to describe it there, but to tell me about it, it's a form of for the most part, it's a circular seat.
Yeah, that's right. So the base of it is a kind of concrete circular seat, which Aileen will then be designing ceramic tiles based on the life cycle of the salmon. So the salmon fishing is quite important in this area, and part of Swan Park is the Buncrana Anglers Association, who are very much involved in the plan for the restoration of the park. So illustrating the life cycle of the salmon is the idea that that other people would learn about how a salmon comes into existence and the different stages of its life. So that'll be on the main top part of the seat, and then hopefully around the side there'll be additional tiles, which who knows what kind of form they might take, because Aileen works a lot with the community in making what she does. So she's invited members of the public to come and help her to generate the tiles for around the site.
And Martha, am I right in saying that that's sort of where you come in, because you're coordinating some of the workshops and walks and talks surrounding this?
Yeah, well, I'm helping to do it. There's also a local artist, Gráinne McMenamin, who's we've co-opted to help us with that aspect of the project as well. So there'll be people like George McDermott, the town gardener. There'll be Claire Thompson, who's a local expert in the flora and fauna of the area and the wildlife, and really involved in ecology and protection of the environment in general, but around this area. So she's going to be leading a walk as well. And also, hopefully some of the fishermen involved in the angling centre will be doing talks again around the life cycle of the salmon and the knowledge about the river and the importance of the river. But as well as that, there will be practical workshops, as well as those workshops that are trying to introduce the local people to what's actually in the park. But there will also be practical workshops where the public will be co-creating these tiles, because there's also, as well as the seat, there's also going to be this botanical, not just botanical, but actually a tile trail that basically educates people about the flora and fauna of the park. Yep. Okay,
so obviously a lot of thought as well as time going into this. Rebecca, the Swan Park, a brilliant recreational place for people, well, around Buncrana, but far beyond as well, visitors to the area. But this original piece of public art, the weather has sort of taken its toll, and in particular the floods of 2017.
Yeah, that's right. So, this is kind of the third iteration of the seat. The first time it was made, the seat was around a tree, and the tree grew, so it had to be removed. And then the second time it was sited, it was quite close to the river, and so whenever the tide rose, the piece took the brunt of it. So with all of those kind of previous versions in mind, we've designed it and placed it in a place where it will be safe and protected, and that it won't interfere with any of the wildlife. And we're really lucky to have a local ceramicist, Matthew Porter, who's going to be delivering the ceramic workshops as well that Martha mentioned. And he's going to be starting hopefully next weekend. So there has been a kind of open call to the public if they wanted to take part. The deadline for that was Friday, but we're flexible if people still want to be involved. And obviously, Aileen is here August and September. So by the time the kids come back to school and everything, there'll be opportunities as well for school groups to be involved if they want to as well.
Sorry, go ahead, Martha.
I was just going to say, I think an important aspect as well of the people that are involved is that it's kind of coming full circle, where some of those people that were involved in the community employment scheme back 30 years ago, who worked and collaborated on the project and learned skills from Aileen, will be involved again in this project. and the Aileen in those past 30 years. That was her first public art project using ceramics. And since then, she's built up a huge amount of experience and a really great reputation for those projects that she's been doing in San Francisco. So she'll be kind of mentoring artists from here as well and passing on her skills and knowledge. And that's an important element of it too.
Right. Well, all tying in with the circular theme, if you like. And tell us a wee bit about Claire's walk. Claire Thompson's doing a walk this Thursday, is that correct?
Yeah, so Claire's doing a walk on Thursday at 5:30. It's open to everyone who wants to come along. And she's just going to take us around, and we're going to look at some of the plants that are growing there at the moment. And it was really interesting. Last week we had a visit from Sue and John Shields, and about 10 years ago they were commissioned by the Tidy Towns to do a full survey of all of the wildlife in the park. So they're going to be here as well. And they've shared a copy of the report, and it's unbelievable. There's like hundreds of animals that live in Swan Park, and like it's incredible the amount of wildlife that have their home there in Swan Park. So it's really important for us as the people who use that park to understand that it's not just us who lives there, and the things that we do and how we behave in that park directly affects the other inhabitants of it.
Indeed. Well, there's already information plaques about the history and the significance of the park, so it's right and proper that there should be information as well about the wildlife and plants that are there. So if somebody wants to get involved or wants to find out more about the project, where would be a good place to go?
Well, they could send an email to info@artlink.ie is probably the best place, or they could get in touch with us through the Facebook page, Artlink Fort Dunree Facebook page, and send us a private message on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or call into our office at Fort Dunree. Yeah. And alternatively as well, I mean, we're working really close with lots of people on this, including the Buncrana Anglers Association, who have a wee office and a wee shop down at the entrance to Swan Park. So if you happen to be in Swan Park, just call in there. And if you leave your details with Helen or Aileen or any of the boys there, I'm sure they'll pass them on to us as well.
Okay, brilliant. Well, listen, the best luck with the project. We look forward to seeing the finished article when it's installed in the park. Rebecca and Martha, thanks a million for having a chat with us.
Thank you, John.
Bye-bye. Bye.